Hit that like if your siblings ever shaded you. I'm Julie. And my twins wild smashing my cupcakes, stealing our cash, and blowing up a huge party. Can I forgive her? Stay tuned, subscribe, share with your crew, and let's spill this tea. I'm Julie. And my life just caught fire literally. I'm standing at the county fair in suburban Chicago, sweat beading on my forehead, presenting my triple-layer chocolate cake to a packed crowd. Weeks of work, drizzled with caramel and edible gold, all to win $5,000 and save my parents' crumbling bakery. The judges are nodding, and I'm buzzing until my twin sister Sophie storms up. Phone flashing. Julie totally copied this cake from Pinterest, she yells, her voice cutting through the fair like a knife. The crowd gasps. Kids whip out their phones, and the head judge frowns. That's a lie, I shout, my face burning. But Sophie smirks. Prove it, sis, people whisper. And I'm shaking, barely holding back tears. The fair's organizer pulls Sophie aside, warning her about disrupting the event, but she just rolls her eyes. Filming the chaos for her Instagram story. Hours earlier, I'd almost lost everything. The night before, I caught Sophie sneaking around our kitchen, her phone glowing. What's up, I asked. Suspicious. Just chilling. She shrugged. Slipping out, I ignored it, too stressed about the contest. But at 5 a.m., I opened the oven, and a fireball roared out. My cake was ash, oil pooling inside. No, I screamed, coughing as Mom rushed in. Sophie sipped her Dunkin' iced coffee at the counter, unbothered. You did this? I yelled. She scoffed. Drama much? Make another? With no proof? I scrambled, baking a plain vanilla cake through tears, my hands trembling. I made it to the fair, only for Sophie's stunt to humiliate me. Miraculously, the judges loved my backup cake, awarding me first place and a spot on a local TV morning show. I was thrilled, thinking this could save our bakery. But Sophie wasn't done. That night, she barged into my room, eyes blazing. Why do you always get the spotlight? I'm the one who should be famous, she screamed, hurling a glass of water at my wall. It shattered, soaking my recipe notebook. Mom tried to calm her, but Sophie yelled, You love Julie more, and slammed the door. Shaking the house, Mom grounded her, banning Instagram for 3 days. And Sophie kicked a chair, screeching. You'll regret this. I felt awful. But her venom stung. The next day, I cleaned the oven and found a tiny bottle of cooking oil hidden behind it, smudged with Sophie's pink nail polish. My stomach dropped. She'd planned this. I ran to Mom, waving the bottle. Sophie sabotaged me, I said. Mom sighed. We need proof. Julie, she's spiraling. I stormed to Sophie's room, shoving the bottle in her face. Explain this, I shouted. Her eyes widened. Then she smirked. You're delusional. Maybe you dropped it. Her lie fueled my rage. But Dad interrupted, his face gray. The bakery's bankrupt, he said, voice breaking. We're selling the house and moving to Queens, New York. My brother's offering a job at his diner and a place to stay. Sophie exploded. Queens, that's a downgrade. I'm not going. She shoved past us, leaving Mom in tears. I showed Dad the bottle, but he shook his head. We can't prove it. Julie, as we packed, I helped Mom sort Sophie's clothes and found a crumpled note in her jacket pocket. Julie's not the only star. My heart raced. How far would her jealousy go? That night, I caught Sophie staring at an old photo of us on her phone, her eyes soft for a split second before she tossed it aside. Was she always this cruel? Or was something breaking inside her? Packing up our Chicago home felt like tearing out my heart. Sophie's whining drowned out the moving truck's rumble, her AirPods blasting Megan Thee Stallion as she refused to help. Late one night, I caught her sneaking out, backpack stuffed. Where to? I demanded, blocking the door. Kayla's, she's my Insta plug. She snapped, shoving me. Kayla was a shady influencer, Sophie DM'd, promising collab fame. I begged her to stay, but she bolted, leaving Mom sobbing. Dad called the cops, reporting a missing minor under Illinois law. But before they arrived, we found Sophie at a 24-hour diner, filming a TikTok with a milkshake. Y'all are so extra, she scoffed as we dragged her home. Mom locked her phone in a drawer, but Sophie smirked. I'll get it. She did, sneaking it out while Mom slept. posting a story Chicago. I'm not leaving. The 800-mile drive to Queens was hell. Sophie sulking the whole way. Flushing hit me like a kaleidoscope, street vendors hawking bao buns, neon signs, and honking cabs. Uncle Mike's apartment above a laundromat smelled of bleach and fried rice. Its 2 bedrooms barely fitting us. Dad started at Mike's Diner for $15 an hour, and Mom worked a bodega's register. At our new school, I joined the culinary club, dreaming of baking my way up. Sophie, though, latched onto Harper, a junior with 50,000 Instagram followers, rocking skim sets and chunky Jordans. By lunch, they were filming dance challenges in the bathroom. Harper calling Sophie her twin. I kept my head down, but trouble brewed. At the school's fall festival, I set up my red velvet cupcakes, each topped with a candy corn for Halloween vibes. A local restaurant owner, Mr. Chen, sampled one, hinting at a bulk order. Then Sophie and Harper strutted over, sipping boba. Showtime, Sophie whispered, and Harper tripped, pushing me into my table. Cupcakes crashed, frosting smearing my hoodie, and kids roared with laughter. Harper live-streamed it, captioning cupcake catastrophe with hashtag Queens vibes. My chance with Mr. Chen vanished as he walked away, shaking his head. Oops, sorry, Sophie giggled, but her eyes were ice. The principal suspended her for a day, citing disruptive behavior, but Harper dodged punishment, batting her lashes. I ran to the bathroom, scrubbing my hoodie, tears falling. That night, Sophie begged Mom for a $200 Fashion Nova dress to match Harper's. We're broke, Mom snapped, voice breaking. Sophie screamed. Julie gets her stupid baking, but I get nothing. She stormed out, slamming the door. Mom collapsed, crying, and I hugged her, whispering, I'll fix this. Sophie's hand trembled as she saw Mom's tears, but she turned away, her face hard. The next morning, I found my baking apron shredded. Loser scrawled in Sharpie. Her perfume lingered. She'd crept in while I slept. Why do you hate me? I screamed, shaking. She smirked. You're not special. Julie, Dad overheard, banning her from going out for 2 weeks. And she shoved a lamp, yelling, This family sucks. I taped the apron, my hands shaking, and saw Harper's story a crown with 1 queen in Queens. And it ain't you, Isaac, the soccer guy who'd eyed my cupcakes, had liked my festival post. And Harper's shade clicked. She was jealous of his attention. Sophie was her pawn, and I was the target. Dad's tired eyes flashed in my mind. How much more could we take? Queens High was a jungle, and Sophie was Harper's new pet. She'd traded her Chicago tees for Harper's aesthetic distressed jeans, gold hoops, and a fake tan glowing under hallway lights. Harper ruled with 50,000 Instagram followers, her stories flashing with Aritzia hauls and Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes. Sophie skipped class to film reels with her, mimicking her every move. I poured my heart into the culinary club, perfecting lavender macarons for a citywide competition with a $10,000 prize. Isaac, a soccer guy with a killer smile, stopped by my bake sale, raving about my cupcakes. These are legit, he said, and I blushed, feeling a spark. But Harper's eyes narrowed. She liked Isaac, and I was in her way. At the school's spring fling, I wore a thrifted denim skirt, hoping to blend in. Sophie and Harper rolled up, clutching matcha lattes. Nice skirt, Julie, Goodwill clearance. Sophie sneered, loud enough for kids to snicker. Harper stumbled, splashing her latte all over me. The green sludge soaked my skirt, and phones popped out. Filming. Sophie posted it to her story. Spill the tea with hashtag flushing flop. My bad. Harper purred, winking. I bolted to the bathroom, scrubbing as Isaac knocked. Ignore them, he said, handing me napkins. I nodded, but humiliation burned. That night, Sophie snuck vape in our room, ignoring Mom's exhaustion from 12-hour shifts. Why do you keep attacking me? I snapped. She laughed. You're too soft for the city. I locked my macaron recipe in a diary, but Sophie was slick. While I showered, she snuck in, mixing salt into my almond flour. I caught the gritty texture just in time, screaming, Are you serious? She shrugged. Taste test. I remade the batch, double-checking everything. The next day, Harper spread a rumor my cupcakes caused food poisoning. Kids ditched my bake sale, and the principal launched an investigation. Finding no evidence but leaving my rep bruised, Isaac bought a dozen cupcakes, sharing them with his team. "This is garbage," he said about the rumor, and I smiled, grateful. But lunch brought a bomb. Harper went live on Instagram, tipsy from a spiked seltzer. "Sophie's wild. Y'all," she slurred. She told me she pushed Julie down the stairs at 8 to steal her role in a school play. The live hit 2,000 views, comments exploding. That's twisted. I froze, my phone shaking. I remembered falling, my ankle snapping, Sophie swearing it was a slip. But I saw her hands shoving me, her smirk. Harper's friend DM'd her mid-live, warning about slander laws. But Harper laughed. "I'm untouchable." In the cafeteria, I grabbed Sophie. "You pushed me," I hissed, voice cracking. She yanked free. "Harper's wasted. You believe her?" Her eyes darted. Guilty. Kids swarmed. Phones out. "You're a liar," I shouted, my voice echoing. Sophie shoved a tray of pizza slices, food flying as she screamed, "Back off." The chaos went viral. Kids posting twin fight alert. I ran out, heart pounding. That night, I found a woven bracelet in Sophie's drawer, one we made at summer camp when we were tight. I'd seen her wearing it in my memory of the stairs, her tiny wrist flashing as I fell. "Why keep it?" Sophie touched it, her fingers trembling, then slammed the drawer. Harper's story popped up a knife emoji with "snitches get stitches." Harper was playing Sophie, and I was collateral damage. Sophie's stare betrayal haunted me, a ghost I couldn't shake. Her guilty eyes in the cafeteria replayed in my head, but she strutted with Harper like nothing happened, their laughter slicing through the halls. I locked my lavender macarons in a metal box, determined to nail the baking competition. Isaac was my lifeline, slipping me Arizona teas during club and hyping my skills. "You're killing it," he texted, fire emojis galore, and my heart skipped. Harper noticed, her glare sharpening. She wanted Isaac, and Sophie was her tool to crush me. One night, I tried logging into my Instagram, but my password failed. Panicked, I reset it, finding my account, gutted posts deleted, and a story with a fake DM from me to Harper. "You're a wannabe influencer. Total flop." Comments erupted Julie's fake unfollow. I stormed into our room, where Sophie was painting her nails. "You hacked my account," I yelled, shaking. She smirked. "Guess our birthday was a bad password." Huh? Being twins gave her the edge. She'd cracked it in seconds. I secured my account, but kids shunned me, and the culinary club whispered about my toxicity. At lunch, Sophie mocked me in the courtyard, her voice carrying Julie's "just a basic baker, no clout." Harper's friend, Tara, snapped, "Sophie, you're embarrassing yourself." And kids laughed. Phones out. Isaac jumped in, shouting, "Lay off her." Sophie Harper posted the clip "Sibling Shade" with hashtag #QueensDrama. I wanted to scream, but the competition loomed. I made the finals at a Manhattan hotel, pouring my soul into my macarons. Sophie saw Isaac liking my posts and upped her game, flirting hard, wearing his hoodie, giggling at his lame jokes. I caught them by the vending machine, her hand on his arm, and jealousy burned. "Stay away from him," I shouted at home, voice raw. Sophie laughed. "He's not your boyfriend. Loser." I stormed off, tears falling. The night before the competition, I locked my macarons tight, but Sophie pried the box open with a bobby pin. I found it scratched, her pin nearby. My macarons were smashed, purple crumbs everywhere. Her phone showed a draft story, "Baking L." "You're destroying me," I screamed, tears streaming. Sophie shrugged. "Get tougher," I told Dad, showing the pin, but he sighed. "No proof, Julie. I'll talk to her." He didn't believe me, and it stung. I salvaged 3 macarons, rushing to the hotel, my heart in pieces. On stage, I presented my crumbs, voice cracking as I shared my love for baking. The judges passed me over, but Ms. Rivera, a bakery owner, offered a part-time job. "You've got heart," she said. I was grateful, but Sophie's cruelty consumed me. At home, she was packing for Harper's party, humming. "Happy now," I whispered, voice breaking. She grabbed our camp bracelet, eyes glistening for a split second, then tossed it in the trash. Grow up, she said, leaving. Dad grounded her for the macaron stunt, but she snuck out anyway. Later, I found her diary under her bed. A rant about fame, I'll be the star, no matter what it takes. My hands shook. Harper's party was a trap, and Sophie was sprinting toward it. I clutched the bracelet, wondering if the sister I loved was gone for good. Harper's birthday bash was Queen's Super Bowl, and Sophie was gunning for MVP. Ms. Rivera paid me $500 to cater 200 cupcakes vanilla, with gold frosting and edible glitter to help with Dad's meds. I hauled them to Harper's brownstone, where Cardi B's beats shook the walls and teens spilled onto the lawn with mocktail spritzers. Sophie glittered in a sequined crop top, posing for Harper's Instagram. I set up my cupcakes on a table draped in fairy lights, dodging her sneer. "You're crashing my vibe," she hissed. I ignored her, but Isaac's arrival in a fresh Adidas jacket sparked a smile. "These are straight fire," he said, snagging a cupcake. Sophie swooped in, pulling him to dance, and my stomach nodded. I pushed it down, focusing on work. As Harper prepped her speech, I carried a tray to the center. Sophie tripped, knocking it from my hands. Cupcakes splattered guests, and kids gasped. "Clumsy much," she laughed, then grabbed a crystal vase from the table, raising it like a trophy. To Harper, the ultimate queen, she shouted, milking the moment. Her heel caught, and the vase shattered, shards glittering on the hardwood. Harper screamed, "That's my mom's $5,000 antique. Phone's filmed," and Sophie snapped, "It's just junk." Harper lunged, yelling, "You're trash." They grappled, ripping dresses as the crowd whooped. I grabbed a mop, shouting, "Enough," but Sophie crashed into a table, spilling a punch bowl. Harper went live, sobbing. "Sophie ruined my party. She's done." The video hit 15,000 views, comments torching Sophie. Total clown. Sophie fled, mascara streaming. I chased her, but she vanished. At home, Mom was frantic. Sophie had cracked our safe, taking $3,000 emergency cash. She'd known the code since Dad shared it for emergencies. Her note read, "I'm done. I'll prove I'm a star." A smaller note fell out, "I'll show them." Tucked in my bag, I found her cherry lip gloss, dropped when she grabbed the cash. My heart broke. At school, Harper's crew cornered me, filming. "Your sister's a wreck, and you're just as bad," one sneered. Isaac pushed through, shouting, "Leave her alone." Kids posted the clash, Julie's drama queen. Then Dad collapsed at the diner, his blood pressure spiking from stress. Flushing Hospital prescribed meds costing thousands. I canceled my Paris baking audition, using Ms. Rivera's payment for Dad's bills, crying myself to sleep. Weeks later, my cupcake cart at Flushing Meadows Park sold out daily, keeping us afloat. Mom barely spoke, her eyes hollow. I found Sophie's Instagram, frozen since the party, with a story, "Trust no one." Harper had played her, but how Mom showed me a text from Sophie's number, sent days ago, "I'm sorry, Mom." I texted back, "Where are you?" but got no reply. My worry spiking. Harper still bragged at school, but the principal investigated her, live for bullying, suspending her for a week. Her clout waned, kids whispering she was over. As I frosted cupcakes, my phone buzzed with another text from Sophie, "I need you, Julie." My hands shook. What had she done with our money? My cupcake cart at Flushing Meadows Park was my haven. Strawberry cupcakes with cream cheese frosting vanishing by noon. Ms. Rivera dubbed me her golden girl. And Dad's health stabilized, his laugh echoing again, but Mom's silence grew heavy, her eyes searching for Sophie. I pushed forward, but her absence carved a void in me. Sophie had texted Mom a few times short. "I'm okay" messages since her "I'm sorry." So when a girl in a faded hoodie approached my cart one Saturday, I wasn't ready. Her voice quavered, asking for a cupcake, and I looked up. Sophie's hazel eyes, dull and sunken, stared back. Her hair was matted, nails chipped, a ghost of her influencer glow. "Sophie," I whispered. She dropped the cupcake, panicking. "Don't shout," she begged. Tears welling, I pulled her behind the cart, heart pounding. "You stole our money. Where were you?" She looked away, voice barely audible. I paid a scam agency for Instagram followers. They ghosted me with the $3,000. I've been crashing at shelters, washing dishes at greasy spoons. I wanted to yell, but her brokenness stopped me. You hurt us. Sophie, Dad's sick because of you, I said, tears spilling. She sobbed. I was jealous of your talent, how you shine. I'm nothing. Her words cracked me open. And I saw us at 10, burning cookies with Mom, laughing as smoke filled the kitchen. Was that Sophie still there? I steadied myself. You can work here $15 an hour, 6 a.m. shifts. You need therapy, and you owe Mom and Dad an apology. She nodded, wiping her face. I'll try. Julie. I doubted her, but I hoped. The next day, she showed up, apron on, but a customer recognized her from Harper's Live. You're that party crasher, he yelled, filming. Sophie froze, shaking. She's working now. Back off, I snapped. Stepping in, he left. And Sophie whispered, thanks. She messed up, snapping at a customer over a spilled latte. And I pulled her aside. Quit or shape up, I said. She nodded, quieter. But I saw her eyes dart to Instagram later, and my trust wavered. Mom wept when Sophie walked in, hugging her tight. But Dad was cold. Prove you're sorry, he said. Sophie started therapy, missing a session to scroll reels. But she stuck with the cart, scrubbing trays in silence. One night, she saw me sketching cupcake designs and said, You'll have a bakery someday. I handed her a pencil, and we drew, a fragile echo of our past. Ms. Rivera offered me a full-time gig at her Manhattan shop, a dream I grabbed. Isaac and I hit Flushing's night market, sharing mango sticky rice and dumb jokes. Harper's reign ended school buzz that she'd posted a story apologizing for the Liv drama, her followers dipping below 40,000 after her suspension. Sophie handed me a folded note one evening, mumbling, read it later, alone. I opened it, Julie. I'm sorry for the stares, the money, everything. I still see us burning cookies with Mom, laughing. I don't deserve you, but I'll keep trying. My eyes blurred, picturing that smoky kitchen, our giggles. I tucked the note away, heart heavy. At the cart, a kid spilled juice on Sophie's apron, and she chuckled. A flicker of change. But her therapy skips worried me. Trust was a marathon. As I frosted my last cupcake, the Queen's skyline glowed, and I felt lighter. Sophie wasn't whole, but she was here. Maybe we could rebuild, one sprinkle at a time. Wow, thanks for watching. You guys are legit the best. This story's all about forgiving, even when it's tough, and realizing your hard work can shine through the chaos. My twins' drama taught me family's worth fighting for. But trust takes time. What would you do in my shoes? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more crazy stories. Share this with your besties, and I'll catch you in the next one.